What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I was able to go out here and build a 7-figure credit repair company with my all-star credit repair team. And so a lot of things have changed from when I first got started in 2019, but I'm going to give you the real raw facts on the mistakes I made. When did I start hiring people? Where did I go to hire people? Different things like that, because I never saw a video like this from 2019 to this point now that somebody's just giving me the breakdown, other than maybe inside a coaching program or something like that. But I never really saw a video of somebody breaking down exactly, what phases they went through and where did they go to hire people and stuff like that. I'm gonna give you my real experience. And so once I first got started back in 2019, I was sending off the letters. I was licking the mail envelopes and getting the stamps at the post office, buying ink from Staples. Every week I'm going on there, buy the ink just so I can keep mailing off stuff, trying to fix the printer, because I was at my mom's crib and the printer that we had, it was working perfectly before all of this. But once I started getting clients and started sending off the letters and stuff like that, the printer started breaking. It was just like a whole mess because, I was doing all the work and, it was just becoming overwhelming. And so I knew after I started fixing my friend's credit and a few co-workers that I was working with at this summer job at the time, I knew man, this is becoming a business, but I need to figure out how I can get some help. And so what I did was I was like, maybe I can go get somebody to kind of teach me or something like that. But I knew a guy named Anthony and he was having this mastermind. And so I was like, man, if I can just go there and learn how to not send off the letters myself, that probably can help me out so much and help me scale my company to another level, because I knew I was just getting so tired of sending off the letters myself. And but I knew I had to be the business owner. I'm doing everything right now. I'm taking the sales calls, I'm marketing on Facebook and Instagram, I'm sending out the letters, I'm talking to the clients every single second of the day that I already have. So I'm just all over the place, and so me working 8 hours in a day, it was too much. And so fast forward to going to this mastermind. So I went to the mastermind, and the main thing I'm thinking in my head was man, I gotta figure out how to get past these letters, so I wasn't in the big groups or nothing. So I was man, I just gotta stop sending off these letters and do it online or something, or get somebody to do it for me. And so I was just thinking about hiring somebody to come over and, do the letters and send them off and, do stuff like that. But I went there and they was telling me about LeatherStream. And I'm like, LeatherStream, what is that? They was oh, you can send the letters online. I'm like, oh, for real? I'm like, man, okay, that's all I needed. I can go home right now though, So I'm I got the information, and I was just just so turned up at the time because I knew that was going to take me to the next level. But I was once I started getting on LeatherStream, I'm man, I need to find somebody who know how to use LeatherStream. And so that started my journey on where do I need to go? So first place I went was Upwork. I'm man, somebody know how to use LeatherStream, and this is way back in 2019. So I'm and so I'm on there trying to type some type of job post. It was so crazy. I wish I can go back and find it, but I'm on there trying to type a job post in. I end up having a lady hit me up, and she was saying hey, yeah, we do this with our company, and this is how we do it and stuff like that. I'm man, you sound you know exactly what's going on. And so that was my first experience with trying to hire somebody. I'm man, I ran across somebody who know how to run the whole team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just so turned up. And so I got on the phone with her, and she, she was telling me everything. She was charging a good amount of price for that. She was yeah, we run the dispute team that can handle, all the disputes and stuff like that. We can send them over online, through LeatherStream, through, she had a few other places that they can send them, online. So I'm oh, that's all I need. But she was oh, what about this and what about that? So I'm nah, I mean, I can use that, but I don't got the money for that. So I'm thinking I ain't gonna be able to hire nobody now, because at that time it's I'm making probably 5,000 6,000. I'm like, I'm just going up and down every month. So I'm figuring like I ain't really making no money yet now. You know what I'm saying? To be hiring the whole team and that. And so she was telling me like, nah, we can do this, this and that for this price. And I'm like, I think it was around like maybe like $600 or something like that. It was just something for the disputes. And I'm like, oh, so if you handle my disputes, then I'll be able to, focus on marketing more, and so that's how the dispute team came about. So that was my first hire because I knew I needed to get them letters off my hand so I can start marketing. And so the dispute team, they handle all the back end results. And so I'm like, man, like, okay, now I can go out here and make some more money. I know my team, they working, they getting results for people. So I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And so that's when I started elevating a little bit just from the dispute team. The dispute team pretty much came in and took everything off my back though. It helped me out so much. And so now I just need to focus on more of the marketing and different things like that. And so that's what I did. I was like, I've been running ads. I've been doing e-commerce and this agency thing. I was like doing all this stuff before, but I was running Facebook ads. So I was like, man, maybe I should like create some ads and run that, on my profile to get more clients in, and I can focus on the sales. I can do all this type of stuff to where I don't have to worry about the results on the back end, because I know if I just bring in more clients, they can handle all the disputes because they got a whole team of people. It's probably like 2 to 3 people that she brought with her. Like it was her. I think she was like really like the manager. So it was her. She was going to get the jobs, and then they was like doing the disputes on the back end. And so it was on Upwork that I got them from, and they was working from the Philippines. And so, that was my first hire. I'm like, man, I got a good team already. So I had like 3 people on my team that was doing disputes. We talking every day. And so I'm like, man, okay, all I need to do is get more people in. So I'm like, focus on marketing. And so I had the ads, but I was like, okay, I don't know what to run ads on, whatever. So anyway, I just started like posting results and stuff like that and just trying to get people, towards my page and different things like that. So we ended up running the ads. And so, the ads were doing a little something. It was all right, but it wasn't like the perfect ads because, I'm new to the whole credit space. Like I said, it's back in 2019. So I'm new to the whole credit space. And so I was like, well, maybe let me go back to Upwork. Let me just go to Upwork. Maybe I need to just try to see if I can get somebody else because, if I can bring in a little bit more money, then I can pay them and then pay the people whoever helped me, even run the ads. So I'm trying to figure out how the ad work. But this is a tip and the key. So when I was doing that, the lady that I had that I hired on, like the manager lady, she actually saw that I had another post on the ads, and plus we were talking every day, and I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go do another job post on exactly like how to get somebody to help me with the marketing, because at the time, I'm just new. I'm like, man, okay, I got excited about how she was able to come in and help me out, so I'm gonna just go over here and figure out exactly like how to hire somebody for the marketing. And so at that time, she was like, hey, I got somebody for marketing because he was working with us in this other company. And so I'm like, oh, so y'all refer people. And so I'm still probably at about $5,000 a month or so. I ain't got too much worry about my profit that I'm making. I'm gonna just take my profit and just pay the person that she talking about, because it could pop off first month, second month, and and now I got even more money. And so she was like, yeah, he worked with this company that we was working with before, this and that. And so I'm like, okay. So we tried it. We brought him in. First month, took off. I seen so many calls coming in, and I'm like, man, like, okay, now we got the disputes handled. Now we got somebody coming in with the marketing, helping us get more leads in. And I'm like, I'm just doing the sales, so I'm like on the phone all day now. I'm like, I ain't gotta worry about the marketing no more. I was like, I ain't even gotta post content like that. I'm just gonna run the ads and that's gonna get us through. Like the ads just bringing so many people in, and I know what I'm selling, so I'm killing the sales call. So I'm just selling all day, every day, selling all day, every day. While they doing the disputes, he handling the marketing. I'm just right here for the sales, and I'm talking to clients as well. And so at that time, I'm like, man, okay, like now I need to like remove myself from the sales, because I'm knowing as a business owner, I need to be just focused on doing a little content, focused on working with my clients on the back end, communicating with them, and then just focus on like trying to get my team together, because I'm seeing the numbers going up. I'm seeing we at like, 8K, 9K, 10K, 12, 13, we going up now. I'm like, I'm watching it go up. And so I was just pretty much looking for a closer now, because I'm like, that's the only thing I need now, if I can just remove myself from the sales. And so my best friend at the time, he was working at the same summer job thing that we was at. And I was just telling him, like, you selling for the apartment place. I'm like, man, you can sell this. And then if you sell this, it's like, you can be doing the sales, and then that'll remove me. Then I can focus on more of like partnerships. I can focus on more of content, different things like that. That's just how we was thinking. He ended up coming in. And then when he came in, the business exploded. And I know exactly why it exploded, because I was able to remove myself and just give it to people who was doing things better than me. And so the lady I hired, she started managing the clients better. She started talking to the clients, like doing customer service. So when people was reaching out saying, hey, I need access to my portal, I need to check the letters, or they sent me this and that, she was handling all that. The speak team was handling and sending out the letters. The marketing guy was handling the ads and bringing the content in. And then my best friend came in and started closing the sales. And so now I'm like looking like, man, like, okay, like this is going crazy. Now in that time period, things were changing, the market was changing, we had ups and downs that was going on, and then sometimes like maybe like I'll like overspend not knowing certain things, or different softwares, or trying something new and stuff like that. And so it started getting like, rocky up and down. Plus, like when you building these systems and these processes, you're going to hit a point where things start to break. Time like things had started to break, because we were like scaling up. We had so many clients. We had like hundreds of clients at the time. And then we had, we had to hire more and more people. So now we need to hire somebody to help out with the payments. We need to hire another customer service. We need to hire more salespeople, different things like that. And so that's when we started going in to hire like VAs for the sales. We had different teams that was like doing appointment setting. Then we had teams that was doing, the actual closing of the sales. And then we was learning a lot of things. So like a lot of times, even just hiring the VAs for sales, it was like, it was working. But at the same time, sometimes if you didn't like, I call it like pre-sale. Like it's better to pre-sale these people and then get the VAs on the phone to close them, other than just like trying to get the VAs to call people and try to close people themselves, because a lot of times people try to look at it as like scammy in a way, so, but when I was able to get my best friend on the phone and get, even my brother came and got on the phone, it was less scammy, but, we was making more sales, because it was just, they felt that different connection between, somebody in the US than somebody in like the Philippines. But the Philippines do work. Like at a certain extent, you can always get them sales. And I know plenty of people that have VAs working on the phones and doing like hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is just my experience and what I saw. I always liked it to have more of US citizens or people who can speak fluent English on the phones doing the sales, and then have the other people maybe doing appointment setting, or just working in like dispute departments, customer service, different things like that. It just always worked better for me. Yeah, this pretty much my breakdown on how I was able to structure my team, to get to the 7 figures mark. Now, just fast forwarding, we've been going through different, levels of VAs that was like doing disputes, doing customer service, doing sales, doing different things like that. Even on the marketing, After a while, we were seeing like, we can run the marketing ourselves because we didn't have to change the ads up so much. We'll do a few ads through the year, and then that'll like keep our lead flow coming and keep the attention coming. We had more case studies, more things like that. And so, we was able to let some people go. You don't have to just keep these people on. You pretty much want to get these people on to build the SOPs, build a system for you. And so now sometimes you might have to optimize instead of paying a certain amount for the closers. Now you can probably like dial back some and get some VAs because now you got more results to show for it. Now you can pre-sell more clients so you don't have to keep spending out a lot more money to even just get more clients in. And so it's just different ways you can build it up. So initially we just had our dispute team, a marketing team, closers, and then we also had our customer service. So those four is what we use to scale up to 7-figure mark. So this was over the years that we kept these people. And still working with a lot of these people now. Maybe some of the names changed out, or maybe somebody went to a different company or stopped working there or did something. But overall, these same four is just what's been in the company, just handling every single thing. And yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown of like how I was able to structure my 7-figure credit repair team.